Hello, everybody. Well, let me clean this up a little bit. Ho, ho, ho. I just want to make it very clear to everyone out there that if you don't want the digital ID, you clearly have something to hide. We need to give the government all of our information in one space so they can monitor everything we do for our safety. So let me have a look at this. um, Let's just get straight into the wackiest, most 1984 craziest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Uh, I just found out about this literally 20 minutes ago, so I had to come live and show you guys. Insanity.
Would you be happy having all of your personal information stored in one place? Passport, license, bills, banking, the lot. The government says it will keep our identities safer, but...
And if you don't want it, you clearly have something to hide, right? You must be a criminal, you're hiding something, you're doing something wrong, okay? We should have all of our ID in one place so that the government knows everything that we do. Everything, down to the type of toilet paper you use, everything. They need to know these things. They need to know everyone you speak to, everywhere you go. And if you say something that our amazing gods, leaders, disagree with, then you deserve to be dealt with.
with cybersecurity attacks on the rise, are we ready to trust?
Okay, guys. Okay, so we discussed this, didn't we? We discussed this. We literally talked about this. I don't know if I talked about this in the members group or I talked about it live here. People are talking about a cyber attack and coming maybe March or maybe May so that they can do some more lockdowns or they can take away more of our freedoms. She literally just said it, and it's a blonde white woman, the least trustworthy demographic in the world. In my opinion, that is, of course. So let's hear what our new masters have in store for us.
More than 9 million records of Australians.
Well, obviously Penny Wong, that's a trustworthy face, isn't it?
Australians.
The single most devastating cyber attack that we have experienced as a nation.
You notice everyone here is there's a cyber attack that is coming for you guys, and that cyber attack is going to take your personal information, and they're going to use your personal information to get you somehow. But how can a foreign country that is not invading my country hurt me with my information? I just don't get it. Shouldn't we just remove all identification then and give us some freedom back? No. You need to be protected from someone else taking your information, and the government needs to have it all in one place so that they can monitor every single thing that you do. Or this cyber attack's going to take it's literally like COVID all over again. This is it's actually like this is like a comedy. Who watches The Current Affair, the trashiest piece of shit there is on TV in Australia? Anyway,
6.5 gigabytes of personal data from almost 10 million of its customers, all now dumped on the dark web.
This is one of the great challenges which faces our country and our economy today.
Names, dates of birth, Medicare numbers, and sensitive information was stolen.
Who cares? Who cares if a foreign nation has all of that information? Who cares? Like, who cares? What are they going to do with it? Oh, his name's Dave. He's got a few medical problems. Who gives a fuck? They're over there. They're trying. It's literally like COVID all over again. They're fear-mongering. It's like, you're going to get a cough, so we're going to have to take away your job, your freedom, lock you in your bedroom. And if you don't do what we say, we're going to punch you in the face and we're going to arrest you. And we're going to kill your family. This is what they did to us during the lockdowns. Who gives a fuck if some foreign nation has access to your name and your Medicare number? It doesn't matter. Oh, they know how old you are too. Like, let's think this through. So China knows how old you are and your name and whatever medical problems you have. Huh? And so this is what they're leading with. This is what they're leading with. And you're going to forget your passwords or something. And so the justification is, well, you have to give everything to us. So we can watch everything you do because, most Australians are clearly not capable of looking out for themselves. This is major red flags right now. And this is the most trusted face in Australian politics.
October 2022, the Medibank hack. 9.7 million Australians had their details stolen. Less than a month after.
Who cares? I don't care. I don't want to give these crooks in the government any more power. Optus. Oh, by the way, guys, who was behind, who was in charge of Optus when Optus went down? Come on, guys, in the comments. Who was in charge of Optus when there was a massive hack? Come on. Gladys Berejiklian. That crooked bitch that was taking Chinese money and her boyfriend was doing dodgy Chinese Communist Party deals? Yes, that crooked bitch. She not only fucked the state, she fucked Optus. Is there anyone out there with any form of pattern recognition? Everywhere Gladys Berejiklian goes, some sort of corruption happens. Is she a foreign agent, people? And a current affair who backed her is now making out that she isn't behind it. If she's in charge, she needs to take responsibility for it. We shouldn't lose all of our freedom because Gladys Berejiklian can't. It's dodgy. You notice the pattern, guys. Come on. Who was in charge of Optus? I don't know. This is hilarious, actually.
After 9.8 million in the cyber attack on Optus. Two dramatic examples from close to 3,000 notifiable breaches in Australia since 2020. Here's Home Affairs and Cybersecurity Minister Claire O'Neill.
We impose plenty of cyber requirements on major Australian organisations, but no one holds more sensitive data about our citizens than the Australian government.
The federal government's answer is one.
Yeah. And?
Digital ID for every Australian. So what does that mean? Well, if I sign up to become digital, I wouldn't be needed anymore. Driver's licenses would disappear from every Australian wallet and purse. But apparently that's not all. What now? Next time I want to head overseas, I won't have to go looking for my passport.
All right, guys. So what does this mean? Let me tell you what I think it means. So when they take away your plastic ID, right? When they take away your plastic ID and they take away your passport and they say, don't worry, we're going to keep it safe and secure in the Australian database. And we're going to protect you by keeping it safe because you can't be trusted. You might lose it, you might lose your stuff. And, you got slippery fingers. You might drop it at home. You don't clean your bedroom enough, because our real parents are the government. And what will happen in the future is you might actually say or do something that the government doesn't necessarily like. So what's going to happen to your digital ID? So what will happen is this whole artificial intelligence thing that's happening at the moment. I'm sure you guys are aware of NVIDIA pumping recently and artificial intelligence going nuts lately. They've got some high-tech AI where they can take your face and then they can make you in a video say things that you didn't say. So let's just say they want to get rid of you. They don't like your face. So what they do is they use artificial intelligence to impersonate you and make you do something that you didn't really do in real life. And then they use that as justification to delete your ID. And then, because your ID is going to be connected to your bank card, it's going to be connected to your Medicare, it's going to be connected to your ability to go to the dentist or go to the doctor, or you won't be able to use your Opal card or whatever card to get on a train or a bus. And you might need to check in like they did. And, they trialed the QR codes during the lockdowns. You know how you like going to Coles and Woolworths? Well, they're all a big chain controlled by the government now. There's no local shops anymore. And if you can't use the QR code, because have you noticed that the security in Coles and Woolworths has got so good that they've got gates everywhere? You just won't be able to go and get any food because you did something naughty, okay? And then you will just be deleted. But there's no cash. Don't worry, guys. There's no cash. So I don't know how you're going to eat or trade or barter. You're going to become a non-citizen within this Orwellian nightmare, which is the communist dictatorship of Australia. And that's what this guy's saying. It reminds me of 20 years ago, the PSYOP that happened in Tasmania, where John Howard took away our right to defend ourselves by taking away our guns.
Done? Well, apparently not yet. In this digital world, when it rains, it pours. My rates, my tax, my tolls, my healthcare, my welfare, my gas, my electricity, my bills, my banking. Eventually, virtually everything can be in my digital ID. Hello. Just a question here, please. Can we trust the government to keep our sensitive personal information safe?
I think the funny thing is they know the answer to that. Oh, my goodness.
Let's ask an expert.
I'm Malcolm Crompton,
Now,
and I was a privacy.
good old Malcolm here looks like possibly the dodgiest fuck there is. I wouldn't let this guy in my house. My cat would be pregnant real fast. This is possibly the dodgiest. Look at his eyes. Would you let him near? I don't know. I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him with my passwords. I wouldn't trust him with privacy or what? You know what the talking points are going to be, guys. The talking point is going to be, if you don't want to take the digital ID, because we need to protect you from cyber attacks, COVID lockdowns, bad things happening there somewhere, then you've got something to hide. You must be a criminal, right? And if you guys remember, just before they put these digital IDs in, they're starting to push this now. They brought in new laws which gave the government the ability to go into your private, let's just say any social media you have, and post on your behalf. Did you know that the government can go to your anything that you do online and post, manipulate your emails, anything? They can send an email on your behalf. Did you know that? They can. It's actually written in the law now. The government can send emails on your behalf. The government can post on your YouTube channel on your behalf. The government can tweet on your behalf. So what if the government decides to tweet, post, send videos, do something that incriminates you and then arrest you for it? Well, they can do that already. The next layer is, well, they need more information about you. They need to know everything you do. They need to know where you go, everyone you speak to. They need to know everything that you do. How many times you brush your teeth and wipe your bum and who you're talking to. Okay? This is so scary. It's actually comedy.
Commissioner of Australia until 2004.
Malcolm has been shining a light on privacy for decades.
See, Malcolm? Malcolm looks out windows. See the window? That's a window. And Malcolm wears a suit and he looks out windows.
Australia's new digital ID system will be a one-stop shop to verify who we are.
Everywhere you go, it's funny. This is the suspect here. You notice this is the suspect. He is wearing a suit. He's going to work. He's got a family. But this suspect here is a white Australian male. And we know that most suspects now are white Australian men. So that's why this guy is a suspect. Because most white men need to be murdered, right? And that's the whole point of this, isn't it? Look at this. This is the criminal. Out of all of the criminals here, or possible criminals, they picked the white man walking to work. It's not this guy here. No, it's not him. No, it's this one. Interesting.
Instead of you having to have many passwords, many sign-ins, do many enrolments in lots of different systems, you can use this one system for more and more of it, including government state, government federal, bank.
Yeah, it's funny. We're taking tech advice from a fucking boomer. Does this guy even have Facebook? Does this guy even know what YouTube is? Have you heard of the Bitcoin? This guy has no idea about anything technology, anything tech. I can't even say the word. I'm not taking password advice from a fucking boomer that looks out windows in his ivory tower.
Telco, utilities, energy, and so forth.
Say hello to Australia's digital ID system. It's a straightforward, safer way of verifying.
So you guys know here, this is voluntary, okay? Like the lockdowns in COVID were voluntary, and getting punched in the face and shutting down your business was voluntary, and injecting yourself with random shit was voluntary. This is inclusive, which means we hate white people, especially white men. It's secure, which means the government needs to know everywhere you go and everything you do. They need to watch you naked, get dressed, just to make sure that you don't say anything to the wrong person. And it's convenient for the government to know, well, make you disappear. That's really what this means.
Who you are online.
So what?
I know I'm fucking around a lot here, but come on. How can you take this shit seriously?
Password makes it simpler, but does that mean safer?
It's going to significantly reduce the amount of times the information about you is stored by different organisations, the amount of times it's all moved around.
See that guy in the hoodie? See that? He's doing something bad. I don't know what that's supposed to represent.
And each of the storages and move-arounds is a vulnerability that can be attacked.
I would much prefer the guy in the hoodie with my information than this fucker. Trust me. This fucker can do more damage to you by having your information than the dodgy hooded dude over there.
By the bad guys. By making this simpler, smaller system, it will significantly reduce where these guys can put in their badness. They're going to.
Did he say badness? These bad guys can put in badness. This boomer can't even talk properly.
Is a vulnerability that can be attacked by the bad guys.
By the bad guys?
By making this simpler, smaller system, it will significantly reduce where these guys can put in their badness.
The badness. Guys, you need to give all of your information and all of your freedom to the government, because the bad guys are going to do badness. Okay? You got it? The bad guys are going to do the badness. What the fuck is this? So this is the worst propaganda I've ever seen. The bad guys are going to do the badness, so we need to take all your freedoms, okay? Like, they didn't even come up with like a decent reason why. Like, if China has all of your information, which they can do by hacking anyway, and Australia is such a backwards country that this boomer's our tech expert, not an actual expert that actually knows what they're talking about. It's this fucking boomer right here that says the bad guys are going to do the badness, and they're going to come and get you with some badness. And so therefore, you need to give us all your information. Okay? Got it?
They're going to try.
The digital ID bill was pushed through Parliament on the very last sitting day before the pollies went on their Christmas break. Leading up to that, there was time for public submissions. The ones from organisations were largely supportive, but there were 23 sent in anonymously from people who fear it will be the end of the world as we know it.
Is it part of a hidden agenda?
Did it originate within Australia, or was it?
Yeah, like if you don't trust us, like there's something wrong with you. You should trust the government, guys.
Digital ID is going to be a hacker team's target. No
Because
question.
I do not own a smartphone, a digital ID system does nothing to make my life streamlined.
Will be fraught with
Yes, true.
security risk, sale of data, identity theft, and fraud.
It's true. I'm going with the crazy people, conspiracy theorists, because so far the conspiracy theorists have got everything right so far.
That's not what you want to hear. Ugh. So are these valid concerns? Well, first of all, this scheme will...
Now, my number one question about this guy, does he wear a suit to actually do business, or is it just to look smart for TV? What do you guys think? Like, does this guy, like, is this the other expert that they've got out here?
be voluntary, at least until it's not.
What they're doing is putting into the law the strongest protections possible against compulsory use, such that it will stand unless or until a future parliament makes the change. And that's democracy.
Yeah, that's democracy, guys. Democracy is now communism. Okay? Got it? Communism is democracy. 1984. Up is down.
In action. Should a future government want to do that, and I'm still alive, I'll be manning the barriers.
So, Malcolm, what if I don't want a digital ID?
Do what you're doing now. That is the whole point of it. This is an add-on to make your life easier if you want to make it easier this way. Because if you are currently doing physical banking by turning up to the branch, or you're pulling cash out of the machine, or you're doing online transactions with a banking app, you can still do it.
And he says don't listen to conspiracy theories about sinister government motives.
It is not.
Guys, why don't you trust the government? What is wrong with you? How dare you? The government is here to keep you safe, okay? Conspiracy theorists. You guys are anti-vax. You guys are like, flat earthers and crazy people.
Not the Australia card by any objective analysis. Full stop. It's not going to be Big Brother by any objective analysis. Full stop.
You may have got the impression Malcolm Crompton is a fan of this proposed digital ID, and you're right, he is. But he says it's not perfect.
It will be given a hard time in the Senate, which is a good thing, because then we should be able to straighten out any of the weaknesses that are in the bill. And one of the